Hi everyone. Hi everyone. Thank you for coming in today. Yes, today we are going to talk about property focus for 2023, our next year focus. Yeah, we have already lined up very another five great speakers in Malaysia, property speakers, okay, property experts, okay, around Malaysia to share their views tonight with all of you, right? And for the organizer for tonight is a GM training, in which is my company. Okay, I've been organizing this event for every year since 10 years ago. Okay, then why do I organize property forecast is because a lot of people want to buy, want to invest in property. They want to know whether next year is a good time to buy or to invest. Now, this is your chance to hear from the experts' mouth. Okay, they're going to share you some tips and their views on what to invest, where to invest, and the strategies. Okay, and before we bring all of them in, okay, I hope all of you can hear me very well. Yeah, if you can hear me, press one. If you cannot hear me, press two. At least I know that this live is working. Okay, more people are coming. Thank you for those who have come in. Yes, please share this feed. Yeah, those who share this feed, put one if you can hear me clearly. Right, put one, put one. Okay, okay. I also would like to thank all the speakers for taking their time tonight for being with us. Yes, we have Ahyat, we have Chris Tan, we have Dr. Daniele, we have Vicky Howe, yeah, and we have so many of them, okay, coming in to share their view, okay, and also I would like to thank everyone for coming in into this life. Yeah? Please, again, let me stress, please share this feed. Okay, we hope to achieve a lot of people tonight, right? Okay, like and share. Now, without much ado, let me bring up all the speakers. Okay, all the speakers for tonight. Yeah, for tonight. Come, let's bring up all the speakers. Okay, let's bring. Give me 1 minute. My admin is doing. Okay, let's bring the speakers. Okay, Max is in. Hi,
Hi
Max.
everyone.
Okay, wait for everyone to come in. Yes, Daniel is in. Hi, Daniel.
Hi, 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 hi. Great being
And
here.
Ayan
Hi,
is
Max.
in.
Wow.
Yeah. And the most
Wonderful.
among the
Hi.
top, we have Vicky. Hi, Vicky. And we have Chris. Hi, Chris.
Hi.
Hello,
Hi.
hi.
Ah,
What a
everyone is
beautiful gang.
in. Yes.
Fantastic.
Hey,
Michael, you are a magnet.
hey, I must thank all of you for coming in, for accepting my invitation. Hey, everyone
Hey,
want to hear from you guys.
hey, brother, when you call, we always say present.
No, we say yes before knowing the question. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
That's what I thought as
you're
well.
right.
You
Uh,
always
I just
support
want
Michael Yeoh.
hey, lots of fun, right?
Hmm.
Hey, I got all of you in very fast. Well, thank you for accepting. Really, really, I got the thank from bottom of my heart.
There's no
Okay,
reason to say no.
thank you, thank you. Hey, everyone want to listen to all of you on the property next year. Definitely, it will be very exciting, right?
Mm.
Well, it's
It's
going
going
to
to
be an
be
interesting year.
Hmm.
yes, it's going to be okay. Before we start, I think a lot of people are coming in, and maybe you want to introduce yourself. We go is a round table. We go around, one round.
Mm.
Max, would you want to first share about yourself first?
Sure. I think, first of all, thank you, Michael and Jen, for having me here. I'm Max Shankar. I'm the founder of MCM, Max Capital Management Group. We are PMC and a global property investors. I think we jointly invest in many property projects, not only in Malaysia, but across the globe. I think we have our footprint in more than our own development in more than 10 countries. And then, of course, our property is always my favorite topics. I did my doctor thesis also in property investment globally. So when Michael told me that, okay, let's talk about property, I said, yes, of course. All right, of course, we don't have the crystal ball to predict what is the future, but at least from our past, of course, past will not determine the future, but there's a lot of preserve all this information that can be very helpful, especially have the opportunity to, among all the great speakers here, right, like Dr. Daniel, Chris, Vicky, and also Ahyat, and of course, Michael, right? That's all from.
Oh, okay, thank you, Max. Thank you, Max. Okay, Max, I have known Max for many, many years. Many years. Lao Peng you. We are
Yeah,
good
I think more
friends.
than 10 years.
And of all of you. Okay, Daniel, Dr. Daniel. Dr. Daniel, all the way from our Italian guy. Our Italian guy. Thank
Buonasera
you
a
so much
tutti.
for coming in.
Yes, thanks to
Yes.
you for inviting. As I was saying before, you call, we always reply, here I am. Always present for Michael and Penang. No doubt about it. For the one who do not know me, I am Daniele Gambero from Italy originally. Been living in Malaysia since 1998, 24 years. And I know this gentleman since something like 11, 12 years. I was thinking the first time I crossroad with Ahyat was 2011. I think the first time I crossroad with you, Michael and Max, 2010, and with Chris between 2011 and 2012. Vicky, 2015, I would say, 2014, 2015, around there. But definitely we are a old brotherhood of property with brick and cement in our hands. I've been working one whole life in property. I am a consultant, a strategic consultant for property developer. I am a serial entrepreneur. I'm the founder of a Ray Group of companies, Propernomy.com. I'm an investor in startups, prop tech startup. I am very excited about what is happening nowadays in the market from both property and prop tech point of view. I'm the president of the Malaysian Prop Tech Association, and I am in an association and roundtable around the world talking about prop tech, talking about Malaysian property, talking about the future of smart cities. I am super passionate about sharing. I believe that learning is a life journey, and I am not happy if every day I am not learning something new. And I'm 100% sure that tonight, from Max, Michael, Chris, Vicky, and Ahyat, I will learn a big deal of new things. And I will share the little bit that I know. So be there, be square. We have 2 hours to talk about the brick, cement, and the future of property market. Thank you, Michael, for having me.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Daniel. You are always in my mind. Chris, maybe you want to share a little bit of our loyal friend.
Hi. I'm not sure whether you can hear me. Can you hear me now?
Can.
Hello?
Okay.
Can?
Everyone
All
can
right,
hear
great.
Chris?
Yeah, you can hear me. Give me a 5 so that we can see whether in the chat we can see
Oh,
whether it's
give me a
moving.
5. Give me a 5.
Correct. Doesn't matter, right? Thanks. Thank you, Daniel, for disclosing our age. You know, counting what time, when he actually met us and whatnot. Thanks, Michael, for having us. Hi, Max, and hi to everyone else. It's a nice panel, and I think today I'm very glad that I'm here to involve in the Property Forecast 2023. I have a lot to share with you, a lot to talk. Right, I'm a practicing lawyer. I'm on radio, TV, newspaper, everywhere. I don't know how to say what it is, but I am a keen property investor myself, and I'm a keen property market observer. So I'm involved in also in the drafting of certain laws, certain framework, and lobbying for certain changes as well. So that's me, Chris Tan here, supporting Michael Yeoh and sharing my view with everyone here.
Thank
Yep,
you,
can
Chris.
hear
Thank
me?
you, Chris. Yeah. you're 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 always I always like to watch you talk giving speech. You're always very entertaining as a lawyer speaking. Vicky, Vicky, the only lady among the guys tonight. Vicky, tell us a little bit
Hello,
about yourself.
everyone.
The flower within the beast.
The rose among the thorn.
Yes, correct.
Among the handsomes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I know many of all of them since a long time ago. I'm Vicky. I'm the valuer. I'm a valuer. And I just like Max Shankar. I'm also in the midst of doing my PhD. I'm so sure all of us are passionate in the property industry. I started property industry journey since 17 years old with my mother, and I have been in the property industry for quite some time and worked few different jobs from the property market. I have been uh, an agent before. I've also worked in a developer firm before. I'm also still practicing as a valuer, and also I'm also well known for teaching auction properties, how to invest into auction property. Now I'm so sure today all of us going to share bit and parcel of the property knowledge here. I hope you all will enjoy tonight.
Thank you, Vicky. Thank you, Vicky. Ayat, a little bit about yourself, my friend.
Yo, Assalamualaikum. How are you, brothers and sisters? Can you guys hear me good?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's an absolute honor to be amongst all of you, all friends. It's good. Haven't seen some of you for a bit. And for those of you who don't already know me, my name is Ahyat Ishak, and I'm the founder of a community which I call the Pejuang Hartanah. So I serve the Malay-speaking community. I've been an investor since 2003. So that was 19 years ago, and have only been teaching property investment since 2012, which is this year is the 10th year running. It's quite similar to Miichael, who started teaching it 10 years ago too. So my passion is just like all the other speakers. We love property. And I think I like what Kristan said. So we are property investors ourselves, and we are avid property observers, right? So God willing, I get invited by all sorts of media as well to give my views about the property market. And there was a lot of interest about what 2023 is, what's going to happen in 2023. So that's what we're here to share. So yeah, thanks again, man. I can't start. I can't wait to start. Thanks, Miichael.
We're going to start right. Okay. Hey, I'm not Ayat for many years already. We are very loud.
Sorry, is it?
Yeah, because how I know him. Okay.
Loud
yeah. Okay, a little bit about myself also. I've been around in this industry for more than 20 years. I started from the bank. Okay, I started from Standard Chartered Bank, Hong Leong Bank, and HSBC. Before I came out on my own, I was in the investment companies, Huang DBS and Prudential before. Then I come out on my own. Okay, when I started, I do mortgage consultancy, and today I speak for developers and also still doing mortgage consulting properties. Yes, I like the others also. Okay, I'm also passionate about properties. That's why we are all here. Yeah, and I know everyone is gearing up to give your view for next year property. It's going to be exciting. Okay, it's going to be exciting. Okay, let me start the ball rolling. Okay, for those who just came in, Okay, help us to do this. You like and share this feed with your friends. Yeah, help us to like and share, and share with your friends so that more people can come in. Okay, so that more people can come in. Right. So you can along our discussion. If you have any questions, you can post it here. Will try to answer. I will pick some question up, and throw it to the speakers here, then to answer. Right? If you have any question along the way, please do ask. Right? Okay. Now, my first question to all of you. Okay. My first question to all of you. Right? Now that the election is over, the GE 50 is over, okay, and we have a united government. Okay, what do you think will happen forward in 2023? What do you think? Anyone would like to answer me? Why all quiet? You're still
I
processing.
can start first.
Dr. Neil.
I need to
Yes.
talk at least or what I believe is going to happen. Because I think that two things are quite different, unfortunately. Government, unity government is a good thing, but is not a strong government. So we will need to wait and see how each component support the other side, and above all, if all these people are truly having in mind the good of the res publica, the public thing, the nation, the country, the growth of Malaysia that we need desperately. We need a stability, we need economic growth, we need control of cost of living, which is really sucking money out of the P40 and M40. There are a lot of question marks, but personally, I'm always super positive, because when there is a challenging situation, there are always hundreds of opportunities popping up everywhere. It's only a matter of being very smart, ready to jump on the right property, on the right product. So this is my short view for 2023 on the politics side.
Yes, everybody want to know on the politics side first. That's why we start.
Yes.
Next,
I think
what do you
Doctor
think?
speak like a Malaysian. Hardly believe he's Italian. It's a very sensitive topic, Doctor. I agree with you.
You are right.
But then I think whatever,
Yeah.
as investors, right, we always see political stability is one of the crucial factors, not just for Malaysia, but also for the global investors. I believe, right, the next 3 to 6 months is very critical and crucial for us to demonstrate that how this government able to stabilize the political scenes, and of course, political stability means economical stability, and that also will drive the property prices either go up or go sideways, whatever, right? So we are very hope that the current government, right, are able to stabilize all this and demonstrate that Malaysia always be the best place, right, in this region for the global investors to invest in Malaysia. Michael?
Correct. You are right. Correct, Max. Yes. Anyone else? Ayat, what do you think?
So I'm really interested to see how budget 2023 is gonna be. So
Yeah.
so what I want to see next year in 2023, if the government, this unity government, does not announce anything big for property industry, I'm still okay, because I think the main problem is not that in the property industry. We've got to have a government that focuses on recovery of the economy. That's what I feel. And if the government wants to help Malaysians to buy houses or own property, or if the government wants to help the property industry, I feel, yeah, you don't have to really teach the rakyat. Just make sure that the economy is stable. Just make sure that every rakyat has an opportunity in the market, they are able to generate income, probably in a new way, most likely in a new way as compared to maybe 10 years ago. And the whole property game will be okay. So yeah, I'm interested to see what's going to happen in 2023.
Yeah, I think the best is helping to increase the income of Malaysians, to make sure they can buy properties, and relax some rules and regulation to make it affordable. Yeah, that is the best way. Yes, what you say, Ayat, is true. We are waiting for budget 2023. The last budget, I don't think we can use any more. So I have the new government set a date for 2023 budget? I don't think so, right?
Sorry, I'm
No.
I'm more focused on the finals of World Cup, so I wasn't able to look up
World
when
Cup,
the budget
which
2023.
which World Cup? Which World Cup?
Oh, which World Cup? Whoa!
We don't have.
Italy is not in. It's not a World Cup.
Oh,
Sorry.
sorry.
I think Malaysia have not in anyway.
Malaysia is very long, really know it.
Yeah, but they will revise it in January.
Everybody is
most
watching
probably.
World Cup now.
They will revise the budget
I think,
in January.
I think everybody is eager. Yeah, everybody is eager to hear the what is going on for the budget 2023. So it's
Yeah.
crucial crunching time for a lot of people. Yeah, people waiting. Vicky,
Mm.
any views from you?
I think this group of politicians are very interesting in the sense that many of them has got good financial knowledge. I would say, especially Anwar was our ex ex finance minister. That makes it even more interesting. However, having said that, like what Daniel Gambero said, this team is not strong yet, is not being stable yet because they are just newly moved in. So we have yet to see that what is going to happen to Malaysia for the next few years.
Yeah. So it will be interesting to see. Yes, we do have the prime minister and the finance minister is the same person, but the same person has the experience being in the position before. So hopefully, it will turn out well. Hopefully,
History,
Chris,
in this case,
what do you think?
Michael,
Yes,
I think that history should be
yes,
teaching something about sitting on two chairs at the same time.
Okay, Michael, sorry,
yeah,
I was
yeah.
in a while.
saw
What's your question?
no risk. My question is now that the election is over, the general election G15 is over, that the unity government is formed. Okay, what do you think going forward? A little bit about politics first.
Okay, I
What do you
think
think
like it or
going
not,
forward?
we are
What
set.
will happen?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Yes. I'm
Yeah,
telling you now is that I think
everyone
it's
can
very
hear.
positive. Like
Yes.
I'm very positive about what
Hmm.
happened. You know what happened? I think we're sending the right message to the world.
Hmm.
Number one, we are a mature
Hmm.
democracy for sure, right? That's the first word in us, whereby, as far as we're concerned, we don't see any protests. Everything is happening, and a hung parliament to resolve within 5 days. To me, is like one of the fastest in the world. You ask the Italian, he will tell you, all right, no way in any way a hung parliament can resolve this fast, right? And I like the fact that, the composition of the of the of the government is also sending the right message, whereby it's well represented, all right, with Sabah, Sarawak, and all the ethnicity in Malaysia, right? If you go to the other side, I'm not sure whether we're sending the right message or not. So I'm saying that, and we are looking at a very resolved position. Now he's 75 and he got his chance. I don't think he will mess it up. And I think he's picking the right person for the position in the cabinet for sure. Right? We have the past experience of Anwar as a finance minister. Remember the previous finance minister is still in the cabinet. So like it or not, we have two finance ministers working in the same time. So I think one way or another, we're sending the right message to the world. And I think confidence in Malaysia will be high. As far as I'm concerned, we, unlike our neighboring country, I would say, unlike our neighboring country, the transition has been smooth and the civil servant has been most professional. Right? People who are willing to work on Sunday to meet the Prime Minister to see how to cut down cost of living and how to do targeted subsidy.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're right, Chris. Yeah, I think with the, I think I have, uh, I'm positive about the new government being here. Okay, I can see that a lot of countries are even calling up the prime minister to congratulate him, and he's on the right track to bring back Malaysia. Okay, to bring back Malaysia to to one of the powerhouse in the world. Okay, we hope
I think
that
to top it up,
it
I think
can.
he also have a very good and supportive wife that I think will make less trouble.
Happy wife, happy
I
life.
cannot agree more.
I mean, as
Well,
compared to our ex prime minister, this one I think is a very supportive wife and also very knowledgeable person. And wife always influence the husband, I believe, and this will be a good influence.
You have to rub it in, right? Just because you're somebody's
yeah,
wife, right?
exactly. I hope the husband is listening. as a as a foreigner, I would like to add in one thing. Chris is absolutely
Inshallah.
right. I'm no more a foreigner, actually. I'm a Malaysian with an Italian passport. But I have a bit more of a global past life. And Malaysia, one thing for sure, has been showing again a very strong democratic culture. Everyone was saying, oh, it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. And once more, the winners of the election have been the one forming the government. Call it a unity government, call it as you like it, but he managed to. And even though others were mining the democratic value and balance of vote, at the end, democracy has been winning. Malaysia is the most democratic country, not only in Southeast Asia, but can teach a lesson to a number of countries too. So, thumbs up to Malaysia.
We need more foreign friends like you, Doctor.
That's the problem. He's the only one in Malaysia. I think you're the only one into properties. It's not a pure Malaysian. I think that Dr. Daniel, you're the only one who well versed. You are well versed in Malaysian property. Okay, uh, what they call, not from Malaysia, original from Malaysia. I think you're the one of the only one in Malaysia, really. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
think so.
yeah.
And also understand the Malaysian culture very well.
Yes, I
I
think
love
he
it.
understands more than us, right?
I love durian. That is the core
Hey,
of the culture.
a lot of people don't like durian. A lot of foreigners don't like durian. It's good that you like durian.
Absolutely.
Okay. The main question I would like to ask all of your viewers, okay, and our viewers would like to know this. Before I go forward, okay, if you have uh, if you have any question on the topic on property forecast, you can put it on the chat Okay, I will take it up and I will ask all the speakers here around. Right? Okay. Uh, Now, what will be your prediction in property for 2023? What will happen in properties? Let's not talk about politics anymore. We talk about properties. Okay. What will happen in property in 2023? Anyone want to take this up? Ahyat.
So yeah, I've got a whole list to answer this question, right? And I'm just gonna touch
Yeah.
on a few. Next year, so let's okay. So when we talk about our forecast, so let's talk about who is probably going to think about these things,
Yeah,
right?
we go
So
by alphabetical order.
okay, so that's me. Ever since school, it's always me first. So if you look from the eyes of the buyer or the investor, the regular guy on the street or the regular gal, so one of the biggest issues is going to be OPR, right? And I don't know,
Yeah.
personally, I see it's going to land maybe at 3.5%. It's already going to go maybe 3% by January, but it's going to normalize back at 3.5%. So um, most of the kindergarten investors, that mean they only know they only know the market since 12 months ago. Then when they track the OPR, it looks like the statement is, oh, it's going up so steeply. I mean, because you look at it at 12 months. But if you look at it at 12 years or 20 years, then you'll know that it has always been around
Going down.
325, 350. So an experienced investor would say, hey, OPR is returning back to normal levels. So
Normal.
the way we look at things is different because the window of comprehension is different. So that's number one. So I think it's going to wipe out a lot of interest from Malaysians who are already very burdened with high cost of living, stuck in middle income, a ringgit issue. So that's going to be number one. Okay, number two, and I'm just gonna keep it at two. So we're gonna let a lot of the other stuff shared by our other speakers. So the second thing that I forecast is unsold property. So these are the two things that I worry about because I'm very close to my students, my alumni, and my followers, and they are predominantly Malay speaking market. So the first thing is the entry to the market, and it's going to be disturbed by OPR, right? Okay, that's number one. So number two, my concern is about unsold property. So I don't see so what's the word for this? I see that unsold property is going to remain very high, and it's going to be the biggest elephant in the room lah, for property market. So we've already sorted out the COVID issue. We're already in endemic. We opened the market already. Our borders are open. So now we have a chance to start to solve this big problem. So, like 30 over 1,000 units. If you talk about residential, I mean like half or more of residentials that are unsold are high rise. Commercial property, 70% is service apartments. So there's a lot that we need to do to solve this issue. So I see that probably is going to still be elevated. But having said all this, here's the thing: the worriers are going to remain worrying and not making any money, but the warriors are going to continue making a lot of money in the property market. And I see while there is a lot of traps and problems and dangers in the property market next year, we are still buying. Since 2020, 2021, 2022, we're still gonna continue to look for opportunities in next year as well. So that's a quick one from me. While my list has 20, I stop at 2. Okay. Back.
I think,
Thank you for being so generous.
no worries, you get your turn back again. I think Max lost the live feed. He's getting back on. Okay, Max will be back on again. Yes, OPR will be a concern, but I remember when I was in the bank, when I started in Standard Chartered Bank 20 over years ago, our interest rate was, how much? 14 over percent. And how much are you paying today? 3%, right? 3 over percent to 4%, right?
Yeah, 3%.
I can tell you, Miichael, in Italy, in Europe, I've been seeing 23 and 25%. Back 40 years ago. And that was scary.
And people think
That
that
was scary.
interest rate is so high, but if you look at the trend, actually, even today the OPR, yes, I know has increased, but it's still, if you compare to the last 10 over years, it's still the lowest. Yeah, it might, as I say, it might go up a bit, but it was stable. I will feel that it's stable. It won't be like last time during my days when I was in the bank. It will go up so high. Now the government is managing the OPR because
Yeah, and when
OPR goes up, yeah.
Sorry, and when OPR was at 3.5%, maybe 10 or 20 years ago, people still buy property. So, yeah.
Precisely.
People buy property, yeah.
And let's not forget one thing. Malaysia is still the country of a 90% loan. Not so many within our neighborhood are having this luxury of a 90% loan. Keep that in mind. If I may say,
some countries,
point,
your loan is only 70%. Yeah.
Sorry?
In even some companies, the margin of finance is not even 90. It's only what they are giving 60 or 70% only. Our
Exactly.
Malaysian is first two properties 90%, right? So it's good to buy or if you ask me good to buy or good to invest. People be asking me, is it good to buy now? I will say why not? Because interest rate is still low, and property, if you buy the right one, in future it will appreciate in value. Still appreciate. If you buy the right one, okay. If you buy the wrong one, too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I
So
may
what
say,
do you think, Daniel? Daniel.
Yeah. What I would say is just 2 or 3 points. I don't want to. I have a list of 40 plus, so I just pick 2 or 3. The very first is decide why you want to buy property. You have to understand the why. The why can be capital appreciation. The why can be a safe harbor from inflation. The why can be return on investment. All these why are defining what you should be looking at. All right. And that is the very first point. Understand the why. 2, property overhang, no doubt, is heavy, is big. We are talking about more than 20 billion Malaysian ringgit. But now I would like to ask you a question. Can you remember how much was the value of overhang properties in 2017, 5 years ago? Can anyone remember? Was 20 billion Malaysian ringgit. It was 20 billion 5 years ago and is still at 20 billion. Is that so scaring? I don't think so. The latest number that I've been looking at are showing a huge shortfall of properties. where these overhang and unsold property are. Wrong location, wrong price, wrong type, wrong size, wrong everything, all right? But there is a reason why people are not buying those. I know plenty of developers, and I'm sure Ahyat, Vicky, Chris, and Max, and you, Michael, have been seeing projects being launched even during COVID and fully sold out in 3 or 6 months. Why? Good location, good price, good product.
All right.
So I can still see another 15 to 20 years, good years of property market here in Malaysia. What we need to see, and what there is a bit of lack of, is a freer value in the market. I'm sorry about what I'm going to say, Vicky, nothing against you, but valuers have been pushing down the value of properties too much, controlling the value of properties too much. I am in absolute favor of open market. Let the market adjust itself. Someone will cry, someone will laugh, but let the market move in a very free and not regulated from a price point of view manner. That is the way to get out of the crisis, to me. It is a mindset. We all know, come on, we are all multiple investors in property. The worst time are the best time to go around and shop. You get what you want at half the price. You pay for one and you get three. I'm not going to stop doing it. Sorry. That's my view.
Yeah.
And I have plenty of number to support this.
Yes, I think to add on doctor opinion, the why is very important, especially when it comes to property, right? It's always about it's a home or it's a investment properties. If it's a home, no one can stop you, right? You just buy whatever you want, either it's wrong price, wrong size, whatever, it's entirely up to you. But when it comes to investment, there are so many tick box that you really need to tick before you invest, the checkbox, right? And of course, we always share that property investment, it can be a lifetime, right? The biggest loan ever in your life. But if you did the homework, right, you may buy a very good properties. It's not about how much discount the developer are giving, the rebate, and what kind of packages, but you really have to do a lot of homeworks, right? Either you're going after the capital position or the rental yield. But I always believe in good time, bad time, people are still making money in properties, right? Why not us? Why not you? Right? We have to do some homeworks, especially post-pandemic. It creates a huge vacuum that we've never seen this in the 100 years, right? But of course, you buy the right place, the right type, the right price, the right locations, right, and the right concept, right? That you have a huge rental demand, a low tenant defaults, very high population growth, and so on and so forth. Then basically a property investment, right, is a right fit for us. Okay. Yep. Michael?
Spot on,
Okay.
Max. I think you are right. Yes, Vicky. Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to continue with Daniel Gambero's. No, I'm not going to shoot you. I agree with you. Some of the valuers are quite pessimistic about the market right now. I agree with you. Especially KLCC property, a lot of them are very, very scared to even give higher value. I mean, coming from, how difficult is it to become a valuer, I understand that. But aside from that, let me share a little bit about my point of view for 2023. First of all, I agree with every one of you. Unsold unit, the overhang is one of the major concerns. But these overhang units are due to developers wants to build for the sake of building. They are not building for the nation. They are not building for improving the lifestyle of the Malaysian. Instead of that, they just want to build for the sake of building. Now, every Tom, Dick, and Harry wants to be a developer. Okay, they probably never heard about what is developer. They probably don't know what is development is, but they have some money and they have crowdfunding the power of crowdfunding right now is so super powerful that anyone can become a developer. In fact, just with 100,000 just to get the license, you can become a developer. That is the failure of development in Malaysian market. Everywhere, as long as you find an empty land with a good price, someone will build something there. Now the problem is they don't know what they want to build. They just wanted to become a developer. And that caused a huge problem. They never study what the demands wants, what kind of layout is practical, what kind of location is good for people to buy. You build something in the middle of deserted place and you expect them to walk or very far away or drive very far away just to do a grocery shopping. That's nuts. Okay, this is totally insanity, you know. And beside that, this overhang property, biggest problem is all this rumor whip. I don't know whether you all realize that about 20% of the overhang properties are affordable houses. Now, when we talk about affordable houses, are those properties that below 400,000, 300 to 400,000. These are super easy to own. Anyone with a salary of 3,000 to 5,000, you can easily own one unit over there. But how come how come these units are unsold? That's the biggest question marks. Isn't this supposed to be grabbed up in minutes? Okay, the reason why it is unsold is because there are so many hanky-panky things. I'm so sorry. I know this is going to be in the public, but I think we all need to know the truth. Now, how these units are being sold? These units are not selling to the right parties. These people who need it the most, they don't get this kind of units. Whereas those people who give under-table monies, about 10 to 20,000 per unit, they get the units. And those people who cannot afford to pay for under-table money, they don't get the unit. What kind of ridiculous concept is this? So these units are not delivered to the right parties. And beside that, because of this kind of units, it's so cheap, right? And it's subsidized by government. They choose those worst location for all this kind of rumor whip location. If you want to find a super good location smack in the middle of city, I'm so sorry, there wouldn't be any good rumor whip in the city center for you. You can't find it in like Sri Petaling, you know, this kind of nice location. Yes, Daniel?
Daniel,
can I say something?
I think go ahead.
A very short note on this last sentence of Vicky. I 100% agree on what you have been saying, Vicky. Time to become more transparent and keep all the hands above the table. Fully agree on that. But I can tell you, Prima, which I've been personally wrecking in 2015 in a very bad manner at the time, is now delivering beautiful project in the right location with the right price, and all these are 100% sold and occupied, which is the beauty of it. Meaning, finally, government is really looking into the demand, where is needed, what is needed, at what price is needed. Delivered good quality, good management, good location, people are buying. Again, we go back to what, and I cannot agree more with you, Vicky, developer building for the sake of building. Unfortunately, they have been doing mistakes, huge mistakes in the past 15 years. And not the last minute developer. There are some big names in this, with a huge cathedral in the middle of the jungle, white elephants, totally empty, remaining there like a black soft on a highway, which doesn't make sense to me.
I think you want to build, you got to build the right type. Yes, Chris. Yes, Chris been waiting. Chris.
No,
Yes.
sorry, I was dropped out for a while because of the connection. But I just want to say that, you know, what's happening in 2023, in my view, in relation to the property market and how it's going to impact everyone. I think for me it's number one. I mean, it's endorsed and it's everywhere. Even IMF is saying what we are having in 2023 is number one, called the cost of living crisis. All right. If it's the cost of living crisis, at the end of the day, then we look at, what can you get for your money, and for the limited income, can we still invest in relation to that, right? If you take really the manifesto of Pakatan Harapan, sorry, I will have to go back to that because now the government is them leading, right? The manifesto on housing, the word that struck me the most is the word, instead of mampu beli, the word is called mampu sewa. Mampu sewa, right? Why do I use the word mampu sewa? Why then think is highlighting is also because of the recent sharing I did with Reda Malaysia, right? Did I also change to them to say that, even every panelist right now, we talk about overhang, we talk about not matching the right people with the right products and all these things and the location and whatnot, blah blah. We still talk about ownership, right? We still talk about ownership. We still talk about ownership like the way we used to, like the good old days of ownership, buy, sell, make money, rent out, whatever. Correct? But I'm just saying that it's shifting towards another model where even developer, I've been telling them to reconsider the model, don't buy and don't build and sell. How about build and rent? All right. How
Actually,
about
Chris,
those?
this is the government's next move. Just now, whatever I say, I haven't finished talking
Sure.
before
Sorry. Yeah.
Daniele interrupt me. It's okay. So, because of the overhang unit, there are a few things that coming up in the 2023. Number one is going to be, if you cannot afford to buy, the government will encourage you to rent. So this is already starting already through Maybank House Key. However, this whole entire program, there's still many flaws that cannot be moved in a massive. Cannot provide to all the massive group of people, is because they have the option to return it back to the developer, whereby
Vicky,
then
what
it
you
will
mean is rent to buy, right? You rent to
rent to
buy.
buy, correct? Rent to buy. That's what governments encourage you. If you can't afford it,
Yeah.
never mind. You rent it first. This is what
Mm,
government's trying to encourage. But because
mm,
of this program is not really comprehensive yet, so there are many flaws. And
mm,
beside that, I've seen that now. I believe a lot of you knows that the construction cost has been increased tremendously. Now next year we will be seeing that all these new projects, they will have huge increment in the cost of construction. And so new project will be very, very expensive to purchase. And so many people will opt for sub-sale rather than buying new projects. And beside new projects, I don't know whether if you realize that this year has got very, very little new projects. This is because, like what Daniel Gambero said, because of the past mistake, how the government has been approving the projects. So they approve projects without doing a lot of further study. This is where government's going to change the way that their guideline of building, they tighten up the guideline. And I'll foresee that there will be lesser projects and there will be more sub-sale in the market. That's my take for
mm.
2023. Thank you.
Yes. Chris, you want to add anything? Chris,
Yeah, that's it.
Dan, Chris.
Let's read. Hello, can you hear me? Right. I'm just saying that, if we talk about cost of living
Okay.
crisis in relation to that,
Mm,
and we talk about those affordable kind of thing,
mm,
I think as far as I'm concerned, investing in primary project is also a question of the credibility of the developer to continue, right? With labor disruption, with cost disruption, supply chain disruption, all these are real, all right? But I'm just saying that, really, I think the Mampu Sewa thing, as I pick up and I look at words like urban poor, words like even like transit housing, things like that, is keep floating up here and there, right? So, and I think another concern about next year is this. I think any approval for new project would face a lot of difficulty, right? Here's my reason. Because of the federal government composition as well as the state government composition is not aligned, a lot of time you see more conflict rather than that. So approval for the primary market will be slow as well. right? So because of that, I think that will indirectly a blessing to slow down the on-stream supply.
Hey, you know what? I want to pick up on the transit home thing, right?
Yep.
I think the new government, and I'm hoping they have a right mind to do this, right? So the previous administration, they actually acknowledge transit homes being projects that sell 400 square feet homes, right? And they're saying, you know,
Yeah.
youths in Malaysia, if you cannot afford buying homes, the homes that you want, hey, you know what? It's okay. Go for these transit homes. And I think that's like the worst ever advice that you can give a youth. So for me, if you're someone young
Mm.
or you haven't purchased your first property and you want to buy a proper home, buying a 400 square feet a foot home is not a transit home. There's nothing wrong for youth to just remain renting. There's nothing wrong with renting. If it's renting is a long-term plan, then maybe that's something wrong, because you eventually want to own your own home. But if renting is a temporary plan, where while you rent, you continue to build on your financial strength, and then later when you're ready, you purchase a home. Then we should stop declaring 400 square feet homes as transit homes. Youth need to strengthen their income. When they're ready, they buy a proper home. That's my take.
I'm not surprised that in the future people are not buying home,
Mm.
to be honest. Okay.
True.
Yeah, just like
The
all these
reason
major cities.
the reason why is because you look at all the Westerner, they don't want to own a home because there is an inheritance tax, which I think sooner or later it will touch to Malaysia. So having an inheritance tax, it will actually cause a lot of burden to the next generation. So that's the reason why a lot of Westerners don't buy a house. But for those people who are buying right now, I mean Malaysian who are buying right now, you can actually become a true landlord in the future whereby rental property will be highly in demand. That's my that's my take now.
Okay, taking up
Mm.
from what Vicky was saying just now on the secondary market, right? I agree. Above all, in terms of rental, secondary market has been picking up tremendously, showing this direction in the market toward not having a long-term commitment. Above all, young generations are a bit afraid of this 20, 30, 35 years loan. This is a trend that apparently has been coming in. But we look at home ownership. Malaysia is only at 74.5% urban or urban home ownership. Our population that is today 32.9 million, in the next 18 years will go up another 10 million to 42 million Malaysians. Now you divide these 10 million by 4, which is the average size of a household in Malaysia, you got 2.5 million new household in the next 18 years, equal to 110,000 new household every single year. I don't buy property. Chinese are saying sot sot la or say Jinping la, right? I buy property today, tomorrow, the day after, the next month, and the next year, because people will keep on renting and will keep on looking for it. My take. Sorry.
Yeah.
You better be careful with your Mandarin, huh?
No worries.
Deng Jinping is not Xi Jinping, huh? Okay.
Oh,
Was
it's a
supposed to
magnet.
be Xi Jinping.
Okay, I think
Guys,
let's.
I got one
Yep.
pick up from. Uh, sorry. Go ahead, Chris.
No.
Chris,
I
go
think
ahead.
as far as I'm concerned, I think whatever that's put forward is correct. I mean, the model is changing, right? The model have been serving us for the past 20, 30 years, right? It's gonna end soon, right? And sooner than you think, rather, and we need to start. So I would also say, if I put it a different way of what Vicky just said, this is your last chance to be a landlord. How about that?
Yeah, that will be
Woohoo!
perfect.
So let's dig in. Hey,
Guys,
guys. Michael, let's dig into Sam's question. Let's put
there's
everybody
one
on the
question
spot. Let's put
by
everybody on the
Sam
spot.
Chang.
Sam Chang is
Yes, I
asking
want to put everybody on the
what
spot.
is the right type of property and the right location.
I wanna go
The right
first on
location.
this. Okay, so
Yes, please do so.
So 2023, if you're a home buyer, if you're an investor, kan, and I like how Max put it, home buyer, it's up to your liking lah. So if you're an investor, so if you're going for capital gains, and it's either you're going for cash flow or capital gains, right? So if a cash flow investor next year, there's just no way you have to go for a little level up. So you've got to go for, I don't know, maybe short-term stays. So something like homestays and Airbnbs, okay, and room rentals.
That's
So
what
that's the only way. Yeah, that's the only way it works. Yeah. So you can imagine where the locations are, where there are demand from working class Malaysians who need rooms or the tourism side. So that's number one. And next year, Sam, I'm gonna go big on landed property. Seeing the situation about supply and demand, adding into my consideration the unsold property. So I've been big on landed property, bread and butter, terrace houses. I'm looking at places where it's possibly outside of Greater Kuala Lumpur. Our radar, we look beyond just Greater Kuala Lumpur. So there are certain areas that we like, and just to keep it a little bit general, I would look into very strong anchors and boosters like industries and job opportunities, right? So you'll be surprised in places like in Perak, so places where it's close to industries, Penang, close to industries, Negeri Sembilan, Johor as well. So my main focus will be looking into industries, factories. That's where I'll put my money in, and add it with the strategies of short stay and plus room rentals. That's gonna make good money next year. Okay, that's mine.
When I follow you, and where you buy factory, I buy shop lot to transform in room rental. And there is no exciting news in terms
A lot
of
of people
location. Sorry?
Yeah.
Michael, you're like breaking.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Oh, my
I
line
was
is
saying
breaking.
no. Yeah, you're breaking. You're kind
And
of
lagging.
lagging.
Right,
Yeah.
Daniel, continue.
Okay, location-wise, no big and exciting news. You keep on looking in Penang, you keep on looking around the Ipoh area, you keep on looking above all Greater KL. Guys, Greater KL is 1/3 of the population and almost is more than 1/3 of the national GDP. We have 10 million people here, and the number keeps on rising. So this is the best location where to buy. You can go still in Seremban, you can go to Melaka, you can go to Johor, but pay attention precisely in what you are buying. I look at what I buy today, beside agreeing with what Ahyat has been saying, I add in, I like very much the 250 to 400,000 250 to 400,000 Malaysian ringgit value, size between 650 and 900 square feet. A home, not a micro studio or a 300 square feet type of unit, because that is depending on location and surrounding, but is a risky part. New location coming up, I will definitely have a very serious look into Sarawak. I've been telling this to Ahyat a few times. Kuching Bintulu. Kuching Bintulu.
And Miri.
Kuching and
Yeah.
Bintulu are two very, very interesting things that are happening. There is a very strong government, very well directed, and so on. So have a look there, and have a look in Kuantan. Kuantan is another very interesting place where to look. What to need? You need to follow the economic growth. That is your
Slowly is coming up.
True, that's right.
compass of a property investment.
I'm a believer of follow where the government money
Max,
goes.
what do you think?
I always follow where the government goes. Never goes wrong. Especially
I
the
went back
infra.
door last time, you know.
Mm. Right. For me
Chris,
particularly, right?
what
Yeah.
do you think? Yeah. Yeah. Karen, Max, Karen.
Okay. I think for me, right, not just residential properties or commercial properties, but basically we are also going into other area of properties, real estates, like REITs. And recently we are investing heavily into warehousing for these supply chains and all that. It's a very interesting business model that you see. It's like you're equipment owner, then you're renting, you based on the equipments. The ROI, surprisingly, right, sometimes can fetch about 8 to 10%, which is very good on the triple net basis. And then, of course, being a global property investors, Malaysia is one of the places that always invest. But besides this, right, another area, right, if let's say not too far, maybe in the Indonesia new capital, the Nusantara can be another better place, right? Singapore never goes wrong. Recently, our companies, we are also looking into Austin, Texas, where all the large tech companies like Apple, Samsung, Tesla are investing heavily there. So you'll be surprised also that is an interesting place. And recently we just came back from Dubai. I was shocked to see that the property price right increased by 50% because of the war. Right, a lot of those rich Russians are basically they are picking Dubai as their safe haven to protect their wealth. So these are the areas that be our focus in the next 2 years as well. Yeah, Michael.
Yeah. Okay. Vicky or Chris, any comment?
Lady
I
first.
don't. Thank you.
Any comment?
I don't have a
Yes.
formula like all of you of which area to invest and all that, or which one should we invest. But usually, I look at all the direct profit that I will get, immediate profit. So that's the reason why I also invest
Correct.
a
Yeah.
lot
All
in the
right.
auction. So this year itself, we have together with my students and myself, we have won 62 properties from auction, and
Wow.
we immediately
Wow.
after we won, within 1 year we will flip the property. So regardless of whether it's condos or landed property or shop lot or factories, we just invest whatever that can make money, because I don't want to limit into a frame of just invest into landed property or invest into condo, because there are condos that's very very good condos, there are also landed property that's very very good. However, having said that, there are certain location that is very very much overhang unit and also oversupply. I try to avoid this area. Okay, for example, just now Dr. Daniele Gambero said something very, very valid, which is invest into KL. I call it Klang Valley. Now, the combination of Selangor and also KL, that you will never go wrong, because in KL and Selangor add up together, you have about 8 million overall of population. Now, this a few states like Johor has been very, very well known, a lot of overhang units. Aside from Johor, Malacca also coming up with a lot of overhang units. These are few places that is very, very dangerous to invest into. Well, I always ask myself, why would people invest into all this location? Because they have absolutely no idea that these places are full of overhang units, and they are basically believe that all this kind of GRR thing. So I don't invest into GRR. So there are few things that I don't invest, but the rest of property which can mix money which has got very good ROI, I will still continue investing it.
Good.
Cannot
Chris, what do
agree
you think?
more on the GRR. Forget about GRR.
Forget about GRL.
GRR, you are paying for it. You pay first, developer is returning to you.
Only God can guarantee.
You're paying for the
Yeah.
GR.
So it's GRR stand for
precisely.
God return.
Is the increase price.
Anyway, okay. Can I share my
Yes.
view? My view is very simple. All right. I think number one is that the warehousing thing is interesting, but it's not for everyone. All right. Because I do advise a lot on the pick and pack kind of business, or the supporting the e-commerce and whatnot. But let's put it this way. During the pandemic is booming, obviously. Right now, I'm not sure what happened after that when all the supply chain got resumed one way or another. Right, that's number one, because we don't have a very mature logistic support in relation to e-commerce just yet, right, in Malaysia, I would say. Right, then number two is that I want to highlight is that, you know, when you talk about Greater KL, Klang Valley, you know, we talk about, yeah, you can't make too much wrong to that. I would just say that let's look at a little bit more details into that. I am more favoring of location that is very matured, the older places whereby it is ready for regeneration, where it's ready for regeneration, right? Number two, please keep an eye also on the mature TOD. I'm not talking on the new TOD. I'm talking about the mature TOD, just like where I'm talking to you right now, right? The very mature TOD, right? So what I'm trying to say is that, you know, because like recently the problem with the MRT line and want to create a lot of havoc just because of that, it means that there's a lot of people relying on public transport these days, and it is slowly growing up the impact. So I said that the mature TOD is something that we should look for, right? And then secondary market, keep an eye on to it. You know why? Because secondary market, for all intent and purposes, you will make your decision based on more factual kind of factor to consider, rather than talking about future, rather than talking about potential, right? If you buy a secondary market, it's basically buy it as it is. If it's good, if it's good. If it's not good, it's not good. Make your decision based on the current fact rather than potential. I think that will reduce a lot of risk here and there, right? But I'm saying to you is that there are a lot of issue. Like, for example, I think downsizing is an issue, right? So when downsizing is an issue, then there will be the older real estate available for people who want to upsize in that sense. So I think that swap is about to happen, right? I think we have this generational passing right now, if you ask me. So I said 2023, I would look at, for example, if I recap it, secondary market, the more matured area in the Klang Valley, right? And look for this kind of germ, for example, the downsize and whatnot. Right? It's not easy to come by. It's not readily packaged. You have to package on your own. Make your decision based on existing facts, right? Not through speculation. And by the way, just to answer you, since you hush about Sarawak, right? Just so that I want to add on Sarawak.
Hometown.
Yes, thank you. And because of that, I can buy. I'm not sure whether you guys can buy or not. Okay, Michael.
You know what I think? Because I've been last few
Michael,
5-6 years
You're
ago.
lagging. You're lagging,
turn off
Michael.
your video. Turn off your video.
Yes, I'm breaking up again.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm breaking
You're
up.
back. You're
your
back.
voice.
Continue, like.
My line here very bad. Very sorry about that.
Can continue?
Can continue with like, yeah, I've been doing short-term rental for 5-6 years, to up to I like it. Okay, this is my new venture. And people talk about returns, because rental returns you'll be getting at 2-3%. If you're lucky, you get more than 3%. But if you do a short rental, I'm experiencing like a return of 6-7% a year. And one of my properties, I'm making 8-10%. Okay, I feel that going forward, if you invest in short-term rental properties, will yield you higher return. At the same time, your property, if you buy the right one, you will appreciate in value. That's what I will think in properties. Going forward, if you ask me, I'll buy properties that can be turned into a short-term rental.
The
Okay,
name,
any more views?
the name of the game is due D. You have to do your due D before you invest. You have to look into the rental market. You have to look into compare and contrast analysis of projects around you and areas around you, and not listening to others. You go and do the checking. You, investor, prepare yourself, get the data, and decide to invest. Because you are the one that will have to pay for the investment. So if you want to make things in a smart manner, you please be mature enough and prepared enough to take your own responsibilities and accountabilities.
Yeah,
Okay,
correct.
done.
Question,
So
Michael.
that's why I think very, very important that yeah. Okay, I'm lagging. I'm lagging. Okay, any more comment from the floor? Any comment, guys? Any more comment?
There is a very interesting question here, Simon. Simon is saying on rental, I observed that 10, 15 years ago, it is common that homeowners can use the rental to cover their loan repayment, plus some extra pocket money. But today, more homeowners find that rentals cannot cover their repayment. Is it true? If yes, what is the future of rental market in Malaysia? Okay, I just say 10 words on this. Rental market in Malaysia, above all in Klang Valley, Greater KL and Klang Valley, is going up. It's going up in terms of demand and it's going up in terms of value. You want to have a cash flow positive. Remember, I told you you need to understand why you are investing. If you understand the why you are investing, 90% of the time your investment will be either cash flow zero or cash flow positive. Because today there are still plenty of rentals that are more than enough to repay for the loan and leave you some pocket money. This is my own experience, at least.
Correct.
More than
Add on,
10 words, you know.
I wanted to answer this as well. I think since young, I've looked at the property until today. I think I have a lot of experience to tell you. Now, 10, 15 years ago, why everyone can cover their installment? Very simple. Because last time, we don't take 120% loan. We don't take 130% loan. We only take like 70% loan, even though you know all this grandmother, your auntie, your uncle, they have plenty of money. They won't leverage on the loan. They will take 70%, 80% loan, right, Michael? When during your time, correct? Am I right, Michael? So most of
During your
them,
uncle and auntie's time is during
70%.
Michael's time.
Correct lah.
Michael
During
is
his
not that
time
old
lah.
lah,
My
right?
time is all the answer already.
Oh. Already, huh?
Uncle,
So you know those days they don't
I feel
take
very old.
don't
I feel
overcommit
very old.
Grandpa Michael.
the loan. So when you reduce
Dato'.
yes, Dato' Michael, yes. So they're very noisy. All the boys are very noisy. So when you take 120% loan, of course your installment cannot cover. Of course your installment cannot cover. But you know, another reason why this all this kind of rental cannot cover is because those days, you know, talking about 10, 20 years ago, right? How many supplies of properties are there in the market? You know, when there is a place to rent, right? People grab up. I don't care how much you rent, as long as you please don't chase me out. Please don't chase me out. That's why the tenancy agreement is always cite the tenants during that time. You know, now people have plenty of choices, ample of choices. Oh, the next door will have another building. Next door, another building. So all this youngster, right, they have YOLO lifestyle, you know. I only live once. I want to live all this kind of different kind of lifestyle condo. So today I live in condo A. Next year I want to live in condo B. So you will never able to retain your tenant, no matter what. So how they retain their tenant? They push down the prices. This is very common in all the condos. As the condo grow older, they just push down the price. Hopefully, they get a better tenant. Well, that is the reason why many property they cannot cover their installment. So what you can do is, first of all, like what Daniel Gambero said, find better place whereby the demand is higher than the supply. The demand is so much higher. So even though you rent it by room, people will grab up. Number two, don't buy those properties that you think, wow, I like it. But you like it, but the price is so overpriced, and you over borrow by 130%, and thinking that you have extra cash flow in hand to do renovation, then after that you can sustain the property, and then you buy 3 or 4 units at the same time. This is very wrong way of investing. This is gambling. So this is my advice to all of you here.
Yeah. Avoid to invest in properties.
I follow you, Vicky.
Avoid surely to invest in properties where majority of buyers are investors. You kill yourself. You choose carefully from which developer you are buying. There are developers that are addressing mostly investors market. There are developers that are very balanced between investor and own use. And there are developers that are mostly addressing the demand from home buyers. The home buyers are the ones that I personally prefer. Why? Because I'm one of the few investors there. And I will be protected by other investors trying to cut down the rental or the value of the property because are up to here with the bank loan and need to sell fast. Or I need at least 50% of my loan repayment and the rental goes down. So if the number of investors is high,
That's
this
why
risk is extremely high.
That's why I always caution people of buying multiple properties. Buy what you can afford, invest what you can really afford. Don't overkill it. Then you get into trouble. And a lot of people came back in during my talk. After my talk, they come back to me and say, many of those are bankrupt. Okay, they lost everything. They buy too many. They can't pay. At the end, they go down the drain. Even I have one of my after one of my talk, one couple came and see me. Both of them are bankrupts. Okay, both of them bankrupt because they buy too many properties. Something happened, and they cannot rent out. They lose everything. End up the properties are in auction. Yeah, you have to be very careful. Yeah, you have to be very careful.
I think
Okay,
I agree
any
with
other
Michael.
comments?
I think we don't.
Yes.
To
Go ahead,
make
Vicky.
money from property investment is not how many properties you buy. It's not. Some people think that I should buy 5 or 6, then only I can make money. But it's even one
Correct.
property, one good property you buy, you can make a lot of money from that. But if you buy wrong property, you buy 4 or 5 or 6, right? It's just pulling you down.
Right. Yes. Correct.
Yeah, one
Ayat,
category
yes,
that
Ayat.
you can look
You-
into in 2023 is the upgrade property, right? The semi-Ds and the bungalows. So if you're in the financial position, to make that commitment, then those upgrade properties are definitely the ones experiencing the most challenge on price, right? So the I mean, what I meant was the price is really soft in that category. So if you are ready to upgrade, because the numbers that I was looking into, half of 2022 as compared to half of 2021, the largest increase by percentage of volume of transaction is properties not 300,000 below, but it was the properties 1 million and above, right? That was experienced 40 over percent jump. So that was kind of interesting to see how the big boys took position in the market in the first 6 months of 2022. So I'm also very excited to see full year numbers for 2022 by April or May 2023. So upgrade property, man. The 4 million bungalows are available at 2.5. That's like right in my neighborhood. So yeah, you've got to. I want to sign up for Vicky's class because I want to be the 63rd person who buys that lelong. And yeah, so during the
Okay.
yeah, and maybe since we're sharing the property forecast session, we'll get some special treatment by Vicky, because there will be special.
Special
And
price,
by the way,
special
by the way,
discount.
Vicky, by the way, Vicky, yeah. So I picked up a couple of deals in Lelong as well during the pandemic. So developers sold at 650. We caught it at 380. There was one at market value at 330. We caught it at 183. So yeah, the deals are there, and I love what Vicky mentioned just now. Yeah. So it's a lot of opportunity. So you have to choose because you can choose to be the if I may say in bahasa, you boleh jadi lalat atau you jadi lebah. So you can choose to be the housefly or you can choose to be the bee.
B.
So the housefly will always look for SHIT. and the bee will always look for flowers. So now you choose. You want to be the housefly or you want to be the bee? Choose the eyes from where you're looking into 2023. I want to choose being the bee. Okay.
No, I just want to make a small comment. Because why we pick this up by Low Han Ho. He says
That's
need
an
good
old
management
friend
by
of
research
mine.
property management. Oh, it's all.
He's an old
I
friend.
can tell you, Mr. Low, you are very right. You can buy a very good location property, very good, everything very good, but the management sucks. The management go down. It's not properly well managed. Then I tell you, the value of the property will also go down. Look at the management. You go up after it's completed with CCC, everything. If you engage a wrong management company, I can tell you the price of a property will drop because they don't manage your property in the right way. Okay, no matter how good located is your property. This is what I want. That's why we highlighted this to everyone.
Can I add something? And keep in mind,
Sure.
unfortunately, I know
Hmm.
Lohan, good friend, and I hope you don't get offended, please. But not all registered property managers are good. 90% are actually not so good, honestly. And not all the non-registered property managers are not good. What makes good a management company? Point one, to perform, they need money. So property owner need to enter in the mindset of paying management fee. You pay management fee, then you can bang on the desk to have a properly managed property. But property manager need to be a bit more reactive, allow me to say. With all the respect, Lohan, don't hate me for this.
Okay. Okay.
Ahmad Ismail have got a question. I can
Yes,
see
yes,
your
we,
opinion of
we
2023 are based on what's best for the individual buyer's angle. But overall, will the market be improving further next year? Will there be more transaction than 2022? How much will prices increase or will it? Okay.
I think this is very valid, right?
I cannot
This is
see
very
increasing, Vicky.
I
Personally,
think
I
it
don't
will
see any
improve.
increase in value.
So
I
yeah,
think
so
it's definitely increased.
yeah, so Dr. Daniel has definitely the numbers. If you look at the
Yes.
numbers based on 6 months, first 6 months, 2022 against 2021, so it's very promising. So 2022 will be another upswing year, but yeah, maybe 2023 is going to be a flat year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my personal
No,
opinion as well.
no gain, no loss.
Yeah, because
I
the
think
markets can
it's
only go three ways, right?
But
It can only go
Yeah.
up, it stays flat, or it goes
yeah.
down, right? So by volume,
Always
if you
prepare for the
measure it
worst.
by volume, yeah, it most likely will be a flat year. And there's nothing wrong with being a flat year, because when I analyze the 1990 cycle and the 2010 cycles, there was like about 6 to 7 years of flat. I mean, it was trying to go up and then goes down and goes up, and before it really goes up because of government policies encouraging the ownership of property and trying to loosen the restrictions. So there's nothing wrong with a flat, and that flat could be something that is needed before the next cycle comes, right? So nothing wrong when we say it's flat, but yeah, that's my opinion.
Fully agree.
I think
And
there will
I
be
also fully,
some increment. I think there will be some increment. My thought is because
A little
of the
bit.
new government, which because for many years, many foreigners, foreign investors are very frustrated with our old governments. But the new governments actually makes a lot of headlines, not just locally, but internationally for many, many years. People may not heard about Najib, but many people heard about Anwar for sure. They heard about Anwar backgrounds. There are times that feature Times Magazine feature Anwar many times. And I think for the political, if our politic is stable next year, we will attract a lot of foreigner investor. The reason why is because we all know that China has been having war with many, 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 many parties. Australia, Europe, America. The only place that they can actually come in and export their product out back to the US, Europe, and Australia is Malaysia, because our country is very friendly. In terms of weather, perfect weather, food is good for them. So they rather come here than going to Thailand or even Jakarta. So this is actually a heaven to all the China. So having said that, material costs also going up. So material costs going up, even though the transaction doesn't go up, the cost of the material cost has driven up the property price. So I think the property price will go up, and total, in terms of total price, total transaction price will also go up slightly. That's my thought for 2023.
can I?
So wait, Dr. Daniel, what are you? Are you? Is going to be an up year, flat, or
Flat.
it goes down?
For
2023.
me, okay, is a flat year, there might be pick up and pick down according to locations. You look
Okay.
at what
Agree.
Hubert, look at what Hubert is saying in the questions. A old friend and followers from Singapore, I cannot agree more with you. Again, we go back to the duty that as an investor, you have to make on the property that you are investing in. Remember, property investment is not going to make you millionaire. You become a millionaire first, then you invest in property and you become multimillionaire. How to become a multimillionaire with property investment? Investing in cash flow positive properties. And there are still plenty of these in the market. Which type? Affordable, not high end. 500,000 is already a high tech. Stay below, not very small unit by family unit, 650, 750, 850 square feet, priced again below 500,000, good location, good demand, good economic growth, and you get your bingo. You buy the first property, the property pays for itself. Then you look for the second one, then the third one, And if you're smart enough, in a time frame of 5 to 6 years, you will find yourself with multi-properties that within a longer period of time will eventually make you millionaire.
Max and Kristen. So where is it going? Is it going up, flat, or down? Let's make a vote. So there's two who says it's gonna be slightly up. I say it's gonna be flat. Max and Kristen, where?
Certain place go flat or go down. I think certain area will go
Funny.
because property always
Okay,
got
answer.
location.
Okay, my answer is gonna be flat compared to 2022. All right. By that comparison, why? Because please remember, 2022 we have a share market boom on the first Q of the year, of Q1, right? Traditionally, when you have the share market boom, when people making money, they don't know where to put money. Therefore, they push it into property one way or another, right? A lot of developer sales are doing good because of that, right? That's why you see Q3, Q4 have a lot of movement. My version of the story is that you drain up in 2023, right? And therefore, 2023, to me, although it's flat, but it's not a bad news, right? It's a good news because we all have 1 year time to keep the price the same and make our selection. How about that?
Wow, love it. I
So,
love it. So, Michael, when you invite us for Property Forecast 2024, can you replay this part and see how 2023 went on? I
Let's look
always
back
love
when
this
we are in
question.
2024.
Hey, hey, that's what I want to do. I'm thinking of doing.
actually, shares and property is actually the other way around. So people who have got money to invest into share, they won't invest into property. When they lose money from share, they will invest into property. That's how I look at it. And
Wow.
according to my lots of my students, they actually burn their finger. And minimum burning finger, minimum 6 figure. And
Ah.
last week itself, I heard one that is so much that I couldn't believe it. He even showed me the account. He lost 10 over million just on share.
Oh, my God. My God.
Yeah.
And this is
Yeah,
one of the things that
buy the gloves too, right?
yes.
Buying the glove counters.
Bitcoin,
Yeah.
Bitcoin half
Oh,
day.
Not
wow,
Bitcoin.
that one.
Shares only. Shares.
Wow.
Not exiting in
Right?
time.
One,
That's what.
can I add something to what we were saying just now? One of the things that we didn't say and we didn't comment about is the great recession that everyone is forecasting for 2023. Because it is true, we are a promising government. We have still a healthy demand in property or shortfall
Exactly.
of property. There are still property that are giving extremely good return. But what if a great recession really hits, as a lot of people around the world are keep on mentioning? My personal 5 cents on this is that luckily Malaysia is not a fully developed country. We still know how to survive with 1,500 ringgit a month.
Mm.
Things that Europe, US, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, Korea, for different reasons, cannot do. We are an equatorial country. In Europe, families are spending several thousand Malaysian ringgit a month for heating up the house. We don't have this problem here. So we are, again, double lucky to be in the right place. If a big recession, a worldwide recession strikes in, but be aware that is a little bit like an impending rock stone above our head. Keep on monitoring what is happening. Remember that when a recession hits, cash is the king. So
I think best time to
eventually,
buy. The best time to buy is when during the recession or the price increase.
definitely, definitely.
And the thing is this, I always believe this: you're not buying a property and flipping within a few months or 1 year or 2 years. I will think that buying a property today, go for mid to long term, and you see appreciation in price. And if you have the right strategy to buy and to do to do with your property, then stick with it. Yeah, at least the time horizon, if you ask me, will be 5 years. Unless you buy very cheap, like what Vicky does in auction, then it's good to flip. But if you are buying direct, not from auction, I will feel that at least 5 years. At least 5 years. Yeah, if you are buying at the market price for the price to move. I will think that next year it will increase by a little bit, but that also, like what Max says, it depends on what you buy and the location that you buy. So it depends a lot. A lot of things will depend. Yeah. Okay. Any more? Any more? Okay. If not, I'm going to ask another question. Whoa. Okay, I'm going to ask one more question. What will be your focus? What will be your focus in the next 2 years? Okay, what is your focus, Max? You might want, or you want to start the ball rolling?
What will my focus? Uh,
Yes.
Being a property is still one of our forte. Basically, I'll say one of the best asset class. Our allocation usually about 50% into properties, and then of course Malaysia is just one of the territory. But I'll say if right, that's why I saw some of the messages and all that. If you want to play safe card, right, maybe you can consider REITs. It can be like Pavilion REITs, it can be Sunway REITs, it can be IGB, whatever REITs, right? Go low, right? High, you can sell as shares. I hope you don't burn 10 million like what we can say. So you need to know your limits. Sometimes, right, when cut loss, you have to cut loss. So the focus for these 2 years, basically, we will re-strategize our investments, our properties. Some of them, when we see that there's not much of upside, all right, we may even have to dump it, all right, even we have to cut loss with the cut loss, and then reconsolidate whatever high perform properties, okay, and then see how we can restructure it. And the most important thing is never get all the funds, right, all the money are stuck in one properties. You need to know how to leverage, like refinancing, you can do a very smart kind of a things. So there are many ways, right? That basically it's a good time. These 2 years, if you just now you hear the speakers, it's flat or go out, don't scared, right? Don't get too worried, right? There's always strategy. Hey, Michael?
Thanks, Max. Before I continue, if anyone in this live stream, if you are interested in what Max say, in what Ahyat says, Vicky says, Chris, or what, you can fill in the forms downstairs, and I will forward to them. If you're interested in Vicky's auction courses, okay, you can fill in the forms. Okay, you can fill in the forms, and I will forward to them. Okay, we will forward to them.
Yeah, I want
Yes,
to fill
Ahyat.
in. No, I
Yes,
want to
you
fill
feel it
in.
here? You don't need that.
I
We
want to
got
fill
your
in
number.
Vicky's course.
Yeah. We also want to go. We want to join your Pejong Katana course.
Whoa!
Ah, make sure you give us a lot of discount.
Kawan-kawan, no problem. Jom. Tapi malu lah mau
Kawan-kawan, no
ajar,
problem.
semua
Okay.
pandai-pandai ni orang. Well, what's the focus? Is it
Okay.
what's the
What will be
focus in
your
2 years?
focus in
Okay.
the next 2 years? Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna go outside of the property topic. So I tell my tribe. So we have to solve the problem of the mindset of recession. So I know Dr. Gambero, Daniel talked a little bit about it. So actually, the biggest recession right now is in the minds of the rakyat, right? So we keep on saying recession, and we get most of our news from US, from UK, from Europe, and those are the countries that are facing recession. But global economic growth is going to grow at possibly maybe almost 3% maybe this year, and maybe 2% next year, right? So and Malaysia is not going to be in recession. So this year we're looking at maybe 6 to 7%, and we've downgraded our forecast for 2023 to maybe 3 to 4, 3 to 5%. So Malaysia is not going to be in recession. Yes, we're going to have economic headwinds. We're going to have a slower economic growth, but Malaysia is not going to be in recession. That's my personal opinion. So for me, the focus is to just take care of your mindset. You see, ships can sail the sea as long as the water don't go inside your head. I mean, as long as the water don't go inside the ship.
Oh, so
The ship,
enlightening.
I didn't say it in the right way,
Well
but
said, well said.
I wanted to say it in bahasa Malaysia.
Mm.
Ini kepala jangan masuk air, semua okay. Ini orang masuk air. You know what I mean in Malay, Dr. Daniel? That means as long as you keep the water outside your head, then you'll still be the ship that can sail the sea. And the sea is gonna be, rough. The sea is gonna be stormy. As long as you can focus on that, that's good. And number two, the focus should be in strengthening our income. So there's just no way to cut your expenses. So when things are tough, there's just no way to cut expenses. What else to cut? And surprisingly, if you really think about it, it's easier to increase your income than decrease your expenses. I'll just repeat that. Yeah? It's actually easier to increase your income rather than reduce your expenses. How more can you reduce? Some families are already cutting down and reducing so much. I mean, how much more can they reduce? The only way is to go up. Like for example, right? So per month, my commitment to bank loans since May 2022, since OPR was at 175, now at 275, it's already increased by a few thousand. Let's say 5,000 ringgit. Suddenly, my disposable income just vanished. 5,000 ringgit from my pockets every month. So do I cry? Do I continue to become a victim? Do I just continue to complain? But I have no choice but to increase income. So a lot of people are gonna be like very in dilemma about this. Or you cakap senang lah. I mean, orang lain susah tau mau increase income. But you really think about it, it's a choice. You can stay as a victim or you just continue to fight. So that's going to be my focus in the next 2 years. Something outside of the property story, because that's where it all starts. If we can sort this out, property ownership or property investment is not going to be a very big problem. Yeah.
Okay, Chris, what do you think? Thank you, Ahyat.
Okay,
Chris, what
I
do you
think my answer to that is very simple. The next 2 years, I think the focus should be streamlining your property investment portfolio, right? Those who can help you to go long term, keep it. Those cannot go long term, things a way to dispose it, right? And next thing is that add value to it. So to me is that the more you add value to the asset you have rather than hunting for new one, I think that's already with you. You can always do something about it. Why I said do something about it, including making a decision. That's important. Making a decision. If already masuk IA for that matter, right, drop it. Right. So as far as I'm concerned, that's important. And I think also another thing is this: while we are waiting for whether the recession will hit us or whatever, let's put it this way: while you streamline, you realize that you can actually make a comparison with whatever's available, little bit better, because you ask yourself, this is what I have, this is what's available outside, and how come I'm not having that, and how come I'm having this, right? So to me, I'm just taking a very practical approach. I think no better time to streamline, right, than now. And next year is interesting because I think even recovery is within the prospect. A lot of people say that because of the we have this whole political instability episode done. We have the whole issue about COVID all being settled, whatever, things like that, right? So to me is that it seems like everyone is opening up, but I'm just saying to you, recovery also takes time. It doesn't happen immediately. So as a result of it, I said my approach, all right, at least is to streamline, right, but always keep an eye, correct, and then keep the water away. Yes.
Very good, Chris. Thank you. Vicky, what do you think?
I think next 2 years, right? Next 2 years were gonna be very interesting for property. I mean, I'm not that very interesting person. I'm a very boring person. But I look at it, there are plenty of property, cheap property going to be out in the market. Okay, mainly because of the prolonged COVID and the aftermath of COVID. And also because of pre-COVID, we have a lot of this compression loan. So there will be plenty and plenty of cheaper property out there. So there are many things that we can buy, many things that we can invest. And aside from that, right, I foreseen that economy is going to be boiling up, not yet to the boom state, but it's boiling up because of these 2 years. There are so many things that people wanted to do during the COVID, they can't do it. And they actually, right now, is where they actually aggressively fighting for sales to recover their financial part. So I think next 2 years is going to be very interesting for property and also for the market. So I think everyone should keep all the bullets and buy more property during this time.
Next year is the best time to buy when property is at the right price. You feel if you check on the market, that one you got to ask Dr. Daniel. He got all the facts and figures. Yeah, then you buy the right one at the right price. I don't think you will lose money. Okay, if you buy the right one and you have the right strategy. Okay, we come towards.
Wait,
Yes,
my
Dr. Daniel.
focus.
Okay, wait,
You
okay.
didn't ask me the focus. You don't want to know?
Sorry,
Then
I
I don't
forgot.
say.
Sorry. Sorry.
I don't say.
Okay, Dr. Daniel.
Anyone want to know? You have to get in touch
Yes, we want to
directly
know.
with me. Maybe I will tell you.
Wow!
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen.
The best for the last.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The
we have been surviving 2.5 years of pandemic.
Hmm.
Are you realizing it? We talk about recession. Yes, I am the one that has been bringing up the recession point, but I also laugh about it. What is worse than a pandemic like the one that we have had once in 100 years? The whole world shut down for a few months, and still we are here. My strategy: look, see, get ready, and use a lot of brain. So no water in my brain, because if I got water, I can splash, and then I cannot concentrate on what is my focus, which is get ready on the right thing at the right time. And you don't know how? Get in touch with me. It's very easy to get in touch with me.
You can also fill in the form.
ready.
And shake your head to get out of the
You can
water.
also fill in the forms. I'll pass your contact to Dr. Daniel. Yes, if you want to connect with him. Okay. We we are come towards the end. It's already 10:30. Okay, it's already 10:30. Yeah, I think we have many more questions, but we need to wrap this up, right? But before we go, I need to any last word. We go one round. We go one round. Any last word from you? Yeah, we start from Dr. Daniels.
I will be very short. How much time I have? I have half an hour or not?
It's like a
My last
1
thought,
minute.
my last thought is move. Don't dance the two-step dance. One forward, one backward, one forward, one backward, because that one will never bring you anywhere. You decide to invest. You don't want to invest in property, want share, go for share. You want to go for crypto, go for crypto. Take your responsibility. Big disclaimer. We are here sharing our ideas. Responsibility on pushing the button, guys, is yours. It's not ours. We are here to advise you. We are here to share our experience. So this is my 5 cents to all of you. And again, if you want a bit more of advice, you follow either one of the 6 of us. We are all quite matured investor and matured owners of property market information. And we do our choices in a pretty much wise manner. At the end of the day, we have been around for 12 years and we are still able to pull together 180 people in less than 5 days. It means that what we say makes sense. So you listen at what we say, but then the decision is yours. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Daniel. Ahyat, any last words?
Okay, so if we learn from the Chinese word of crisis, right? Wei Ji, there's always danger and there's always opportunity, right? So my take, maybe 80% of Malaysians are still in the position where they have to protect themselves, their family, and the teams that they lead from the dangers that are in the property market. And maybe another 20% of you, of us, are in that position where we can capitalize on the opportunities that are in the real estate market. So it's okay. Whatever position that you're in, don't feel bad. And I know some of you who are watching, you may be in the 80% category. Just focus on how to protect and keep yourself, your family, and the teams that you lead safe. Once you've done that successfully, it's already a success. It's already something that you should celebrate if you can protect yourself, right? Don't put yourself in a position where you put yourself in too much danger trying to reach out for so many opportunities that may not turn out good anyways, right? And one last thing, just think about it. If we really understood what crisis is the transfer of wealth, right? So in any crisis, there's going to be massive transfer of wealth from people who are not ready, who are not knowledgeable, who are, in my language, gelojo, who are hasty, to the people who are ready, who are knowledgeable, and who are patient, right? So you choose on which end you want to be in this crisis where wealth transfers to. I want to be in that position where I create wealth for myself, my family, and for the team that I lead, and you guys should too. So wish the best of luck for 2022, the remaining 50 days, and all the best for 2023. Thanks, Michael, again. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Ahyat. Vicky, what's your last words to everyone?
I think for the past 2 years, everyone has been very tough, and some people having bought some wrong property. Now, to minimize your loss or to have a better view of property, I think before you buy any property, right, it will be best to think about who is going to rent from you, who is going to buy from you. Would there be anyone who want to rent from you, able to sell or not? If you're not able to sell, can you cover the installment by renting out? I think these are the few questions that you should ask yourself before you buy any or commit to any of the property investment. And property investment is not gambling. So I hope that next year, I don't know whether would there be a recession. A lot of people say there will be recession, but whether or not recession coming, I think we still have to, life is still goes on. Okay, maybe being prudent is one of the best way to sail through 2023. And I wish all of you, if I don't see all of you again, I wish you Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and have a good year in 2023. Thank you.
Thank you, Vicky. Thank you, Vicky. Max, any
Okay.
last word?
Yeah, again, thank you, Michael, for having me here to learn from all the experts here. Joke aside, actually, there's a lot of info experience that I think they have not just money, right? It's really a time proven all this experience. And of course, I always believe in knowledge is power. Before invest, do all the due diligence, do all the homeworks, get advice from all the experts. I believe all these are experts, they have their books and whatnot. But after invest, right, always prepare loss, so that when you invest, you will not invest greedy. Sometimes it's the word greedy that really destroy a person's wealth, right? You need to know when is the time to cut loss, or when is the time to realign your investment portfolio, right? You need to really think very hard, especially these 2 years, right? It changed the whole landscape of property investments, right? There's so many new things that beyond our knowledge before, right? And the new things today's. And of course, we always share this. Always begin with the end in mind. What is your exit strategy, right? How you want to exit from these investments, okay? So when you have all this in place, basically you are smart investors, you are prepared, and there are so many opportunities. I think Ahyat also mentioned Weiji, right? This is 100 years, all right, kind of opportunity. If you miss this, unless you live another 100 years to make back whatever lost, all right? So again, all right, I wish everyone Merry Christmas and a happy 2023. Always be hopeful, right? There are hopes, there are always hopes, however tough the life is. Thank you.
Thank you, Max. Thank you, Max. Chris, what
Well,
is your last word to everyone?
there's a saying to say that it is the worst of time, it is also the best of time, right? There is also a saying that said opportunity is for those people who are ready. Correct? Can I say something? I want to change that. I say opportunity is for those people who can afford it. Okay, let's put it this way. I use the word afford it means afford the good part, afford the bad part as well. Never discount that, right? Everything comes with two sides. It's only natural. Correct? So I mean, if since everyone starts to use 危机 Chinese word, and 神经病 and whatnot, I also end with right? So my Chinese word, and by the way, I'm the only one here that have the rightful claim for Chinese word here, right? Out
Such
of
a such a fun tour.
okay, so what forward is always like
Go
this.
ahead. I'm a banana.
All right, it's called 量力而为, right? 量力而为. You do within your means. Let's put it this way. I know it's maybe 100 years once, as Max said. If you need to miss it, you miss it. Let's put it this way. Nobody rush you to capitalize it. No point when you seize the opportunity and you don't know what to do about it and you are forcing it to be on you. Yes, opportunity is there for those who can afford it. Thank you.
Well, thank you, everyone. I think there is an awesome night that we learn a lot from
Wonderful.
every one of you. Thank you so much for coming in and share your
Thank you.
view with everyone. Okay, and happy holidays. I know it's December coming to us, 2003. Christmas is around the corner, and Merry Christmas to everyone also. And I hope to see you all next year for another roundtable session for 2004.
The next
2024.
one,
2004.
Michael, the next one must be physical.
Oh, next one. Okay. I will
Please
do a physical
stop
next one.
the
Okay,
virtual. Let's go physical.
okay,
And
then we'll do that.
can we sing
Yes.
it? We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Yes.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all.
Merry
Thank
Christmas,
you. Thank you,
all of
Michael,
you.
for pulling us.
Thank you.
Goodbye,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.
My name is Christmas, yes.
Merry
Very good.
Christmas and Happy New Year. Bye-bye.
Bye. All.
Bye.
Bye.